First, a review of history. Second, a brief sketch of positive postmodernity and the 60s revolutions. And lastly, some concluding remarks. Okay, first, the history of the world is the becoming of one, absolute science, the universe's knowledge of itself, and two, the Jedi Order, kingdom come, or the most incredible world imaginable, which, quote, eye has not seen, ear has not heard, end quote. In brief, the ancient period of history was the beginning of philosophy and absolute science or knowledge, and the search for the truth, the eternal arche, or principle and ground of everything. Plato and his divided line was the key. His arche was the good, and the goal of life was to exit the cave, the changing sense world of material individuals, and achieve the knowledge of the good by focusing one's reason on unchanging universals. But the ancients could not overcome the separation of themselves from the eternal arche, which forced the advance to the next medieval period of history, where religion, but not philosophy, was able to realize the unity, e.g., in Christianity's God-man. But due to the truths, the unity's picture-thinking form, it was unable to be universalized or accepted by everyone. Hence the need to advance to the next modern period of science and reason, in which a subjective arche of consciousness replaced the previous objective arches of the transcendent God and the good. This happened first with Descartes and his meditations, and then with the A-team, and especially Hegel, who finally brought to light the true arche, the absolute I or concept, and absolute science, which is simply the study of the arche becoming conscious of itself via logic, nature, and spirit, thereby ending human history. But only 4 persons knew of this. So, in order that everyone may know of it and benefit from the truth of their present unity with being or God, history had to advance to first a negative, God is dead, nihilistic, atheistic, postmodern period, followed by a positive, redemptive, postmodern final period of history, and the final overcoming of the separation of ourselves and God, heaven, and the here and now. It was, in fact, Nietzsche who said that, quote, only when the energies of the given generation are strong enough to collectively invert the old values can nihilism be confronted and effectively overcome, and the new paradigm and new world be realized, end quote. My colleagues and I feel it was the 1960s when this inversion and shift began. Second, positive postmodernity and the 60s witnessed 2 revolutions, political and metaphysical. Here is just a summary. For the full picture, please read the Jedi Handbook, 66 to 71, and NWKF, and watch the PowerPoint presentation of the Sixties revolution. First, an excerpt on the postmodern period from the Jedi Handbook, page 66. Quote, "Since our planet's history has ended, as we now possess the knowledge of the Force and Jedi science, the only purpose that history can have after this is that of education, the education of all our people into the truth, the knowledge of the Force, so that all may benefit by it by becoming Jedi and experiencing the amazing Jedi Order. This will bring a permanent end to our perennial planetary crises, wars, hate, greed, poverty, disease, and death. This endgame purpose on our planet is accomplished by a negative, destructive postmodern phase of post-history, followed by a positive, constructive postmodern phase. What happened in brief was that the death of God, nihilism, and the absence of God and the holy in our world created a vacuum, which at the right time becomes filled with the new God and new heaven in unity with ourselves as Jedi and the Jedi Order, the unity of opposites, of eternity and time, the sacred and the secular. This time is called positive postmodernity, which occurred in the 1960s with our political revolution, civil rights and feminism, and metaphysical or knowledge revolution with the rediscovery of the absolute I and the new God within. This handbook will help our people shorten the period of pain and take us faster to the goal of positive postmodernity, the Jedi Order." End quote.